This is where I always get hung up. Chelsea usually does this.
Hmm.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to How Do You Spirit? And I have a special guest. I always say that, but all the guests are special. But this is a super special guest. This is my nephew, Aaron. And we're going to talk today about, well, spirit, interactions with spirit, right? The experiences that you've had over your lifetime. But first, I have to do all the things. If you haven't gone and followed us on our YouTube channel, please go to our page at How Do You Spirit and give us a follow and subscribe, whatever that is. And also follow us on TikTok, Instagram. We're on all the platforms, and Facebook, How Do You Spirit, and also my Lori Jewett page. Something I wanted to show everyone too. Guess what I have? Finally, we have our shirts. See how cute? We have the logo on the front. These are nice, soft, good quality t-shirts. They're imprinted with our logo on the inside. And then they also have this fun little tag on the bottom. So anyway, I'm going to be putting these up on the website for purchase at the first of the year. So everyone come and buy one. Okay, let's get started. So, Aaron.
Yes.
When did you, how old were you when you first probably recognized or maybe got freaked out?
Oh, that's hard.
It's hard. I know. Think way
I was
back.
really little though. It was in our old house in Taylorsville, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we had like this basement is like the main thing that comes to mind.
Uh-huh.
And our light would like never really work in that basement. Like there was a staircase and then there was a light.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember every once in a while I would like whenever I'd turn the light off, sometimes I'd see like a flicker, like a little ball like go.
Okay, so like an orb is what we would call an orb. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like the first thing that comes to mind. But
And so how old do you think you were about?
when did we move into that house? Must have been like 8 or 9.
Okay.
8, 7.
And what did you think? What went through your mind at that time when you saw that? Did it freak you out, or were you questioning?
I was like, "What is that?" I was like, and it's not like I could really like tell anybody other than like my friends.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't like tell my mom. Like, "Mom, I saw this ball. Like, what is that?" Because she wouldn't really know either.
Right.
But, yeah, no, I didn't really know what it was, and then, yeah.
Would the lights ever turn off and on by themselves, do you think? Or just the flicker?
Just the flicker. Like that's like the main light that I ever saw with anything with that light.
Uh-huh.
But like there was stuff around the house that would happen that freaked me out too. But,
okay. So was the orb thing like a common experience? Like, did you see, like, was it an every time you went down there?
No, it was like maybe like once a month.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty frequent.
Common, yeah.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
there.
That's funny because did you get freaked out when I was a kid growing up in my parents' house? I'd always have to run up the stairs really quick because I thought something was chasing me.
I still do that. Yeah.
Right? Isn't that so weird? We get older and you still get that eerie feeling and have to run like something's going to get you.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, so we'll call that an orb then. You were seeing orbs, which an energy of some kind. Let's go into what kind of experiences now you've had.
So with that house in particular, besides the orb, one that like really stands out to me, and to this day, I don't even know if it was like, I don't know if it was like just me seeing things or what.
Probably not.
But
well, you were seeing things.
I was around the same age. It was when we first moved into the house, and I was in my room upstairs, and we were getting ready to go somewhere. And I was like getting dressed in my room, and out of the corner of my eye, I see like my closet, like all of a sudden if it's closed like this, it went like that. Like it was like
so it would open by itself.
No, this is the only time it ever happened. It like instantaneously like cracked, and I swear like to this day, it looked like an eye was like watching me in the closet.
Ooh, I just got the chills. That's creepy.
I don't know if it was Like, I don't know if it was that, but I vividly remember seeing that.
So like a little like beady, was it like
no, it was
lit
like
up?
it was almost like a white like outline of an eye, like all black eye.
Oh.
It was freaky. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So that's one experience. So did you ever feel like, I know as a child, it's hard because it freaks us out anyway, right? Because it's like, what in the heck's going on?
Yeah.
But did you ever feel like get the chills or feel like any energy when you would feel that? Or when you saw it?
Whenever I saw that at the time, I remember like being like, it just like froze and I got the chills.
Uh-huh.
And occasionally when I would see the orb, I would just stand there and like, I would like watch it and then I would get a little like goosebumps, but nothing like crazy other than that one time.
Yeah.
With the closet.
Do you feel like it was like negative or was it more kind of neutral energy?
I would say more neutral because like of the other experiences with that house, like I never got super negative vibes.
That's good.
But that one time I was like, why? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but.
Okay. So what other have you experienced? Did you ever like see any faces or?
Thank God, no. I would have been traumatized.
You're right.
No, like stuff would just turn on by itself, like
a
lot. Like I don't know if my mom remembers, but like I remember one night in particular we were sitting on the couch watching a movie in our sunroom, and the coffee maker just went off. It was like just out of nowhere, and I mean it scared me, and I was probably like maybe 12.
Yeah, at that time.
And I was like, what the hell? Like, yeah. So that happened. Like the microwave had gone off by itself.
Oh, really?
A lot, yeah. And it always seemed to happen like when my mom wasn't around.
Okay.
Like it was me and my friends that saw a lot of this stuff. I don't know if it was like.
So you have witnesses.
Yeah, no, I do. My best friend Tanner out here, his house is the same way, and I've been over there a ton, and like we've experienced crazier stuff.
Really?
This house is wicked. Yeah.
That's so funny. So it seems like you might be sensitive to that kind of stuff. Like if you have different experiences and are taking notice to it. And so what that looks like in my mind and what I believe in is that when we acknowledge that spirit's around, they kind of like to mess with us more.
Yeah.
Because we're recognizing that they're there, you know.
Uh-oh,
and yeah. So what, as you've gotten older, do you still have those experiences?
I actually, the reason why I said is because, so it was the day before I flew out to come out here.
Yes. So you all know background. Aaron lives in DC. He's in the Air Force and he's here for the holiday. So, okay. So right before you flew.
Yeah, it was like the night before I flew out. And I was just getting my stuff together and I finally like was packed and I sat down and I was just watching TV. And I have like my TV here and my desk is here. And I'm watching TV and out of nowhere, like I have like a jar of like pens and pencils. It just like falls off my desk. And I looked over there and I feel like I'm not like scared.
Right.
Like of spirits at all.
That's good.
And I literally just said out loud like, to myself or to the spirit, I was like, are you serious, bro? Like I said why did you do that? I was like, I'm gonna pick it up. Like,
did you get a reaction after that? No.
I just picked it up and I was like, don't do it again.
Right. That's what I do with my sister when she haunts us. I just like, oh, hi, Shelly, you know, because she messes with our TV. She'll turn it on and off. And so, yeah, I just acknowledge stuff like that too. So tell me, do you have a super scary maybe experience that comes to mind?
Yeah. So this is like right before I left for the military. This like still gives me chills.
Yes.
And I know that like my grandma's house is not negative at all.
Right.
But this like still like shakes me today to my core. Like I can't believe it happened. So I still to this day, I have dreams about at my grandma's house, like about like she has these dolls and stuff. And,
Yes.
I mean, and I would have dreams that like the dolls would move, and then I'd see them, and then I'd go up to the doll and be like, "I saw you," and then in the dream, like the doll would be like, "I know," and it would like freak me out. And so I would have those dreams. And I remember one night I just had like been up really late. I was playing my PlayStation, and I got up to go to the bathroom to like clean up for the night and go to bed. I'm in the bathroom and I'm washing my face, and there's like, it's like dead silent. It's just the water. I'm like washing my face. I turn the water off and my face is in the rag. And I don't know if it came from the vent of like in the bathroom or if it was like behind my head or what, but something made a noise and it goes.
Oh, it was
like shook me. I was like, I like looked around and I dropped the towel, and I was 17 years old. I dropped the towel and I went to my mom's room and I was like, "Mom, something's in the bathroom." I'm like, what was that?
That's so funny.
Yeah, but yeah, that was probably
the scariest thing you've experienced. Yeah. So how often would you say that spirit interacts with you? Like, again, we talked about, okay, the orb thing was maybe once a month, but do you feel that it's frequent no matter kind of where you're at? Or do you feel like it's when, like, if you're up late or you're thinking about something specific, or does anything, it's just kind of random?
I feel like it's just been kind of, yes, I say mainly just random. But like whenever I've been at like my friend Tanner's house, we know like for a fact that his house has spirit energy. And his parents know, and they've acknowledged it. Like even when we were kids, they'd be like, when I first went over, they're like, "Hey Aaron, by the way, like our house is haunted. We've
got some spooks hanging out."
So with that being said, like as we grew up, like we would just be like aware that his house is haunted. And we were dumb. We'd like try to like talk to the ghost or like mess with it.
Right.
And we had like a pendulum. We played with the pendulum.
Did you get answers?
Yeah, no, we did.
Oh,
and
really?
That night was probably the scariest night I've ever.
So that was even scarier than the whistle.
Yeah. But we had we had a bunch of friends over, and we were like, on it. No way. All right, we'll show you.
Yeah.
And so we literally showed them. We were like, "Look, like we're gonna close this door, and it's gonna open, and we're gonna ask it to open the door." So we sat there, and like maybe 10 minutes goes by. We had like the pendulum, and we didn't mess with a Ouija board, but because that's like dumb.
I know, I'm afraid of those, honestly.
But we had the pendulum, and we were like asking it like yes or no questions.
And
we're like, "Do you think you could open the door for us?" And it like swung yes. It's like, all right, get ready. And so we all like look at the door, and maybe like 3 minutes of us just staring at the door, it like slowly started to open.
Oh my gosh.
All of our friends were like, "Oh my gosh, like what the hell?" And me and Tanner just sitting there like,
yeah, it's like nothing we're used to it.
Yeah. And
that's
then like
so funny.
A couple minutes after that, his microwave upstairs started going off.
Oh wow.
And we're all sitting downstairs, and
Has his parents ever like had like a psychic or anybody come over?
So his mom is actually very spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she probably knows about.
No, yeah. Like she does her own like stuff. I'm not really sure what she does. But she used to have like I forget what it was. Was it like a necklace, or she had some sort of like piece of jewelry that was like big or something. And it like, I guess she had told Tanner that it liked to run away.
Oh.
Like if it was left out of sight. And Tanner had told me the story. He was like, yeah, like she told me that, and she like had taken it off one day and like looked away or like went to do something and come back to grab it, and it was gone.
It just
and she was like, well, it ran away. I guess we'll see if we find it. And he said like a couple years later they found it like buried in the backyard.
What?
Yeah.
I just got the chills on that one.
Like his house is crazy. But we love it. We love his house.
Yeah. So maybe that too, being around your friend and the mom and the house and being aware, do you feel like that's helped you like be not so afraid?
Yeah.
Like, because you kind of were raised that way, if you will,
Yeah,
kind of in
yeah,
a
no,
sense.
I've
Yeah.
just had a lot of different type of experiences for sure. And I feel like unless it was like something super crazy, like a voice like calling out to me, like if that happened, like no, then I'd be scared. But like if it was just like a door closing or opening or like tapping or scratching
Or lights flickering,
yeah,
going on and off. Yeah.
I'm not gonna freak out.
Yeah.
So,
That's good. I actually had an experience. It was last week. I was sleeping and I woke up and I remember looking at the clock and it was like 3:15 and I closed my eyes and then I'm not kidding, somebody freaking called my name like really loud. Lori! And it shook me.
oh, no.
And I was like, what was that? Who was that? Okay, what's going on? Who's trying to talk to me? Because that's when spirits like to come to me, is at night, because it's when everything's quiet
Yeah.
and you're listening. And I still don't know what that is. I need to ask my friend Taco about that because I'm still wondering what that was all about. It was kind of creepy. That one even creeped me out because what did it, who and what and why.
Was it like a man's voice?
It wasn't, I would say yes, more on the male side, but it wasn't like a deep, scary voice. But yeah, I would say definitely a male voice. And it freaked me out a little bit. That's so funny that I think people have experiences more than we know, right? Because people don't like to share that stuff because, oh, dude, you're crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, what today do you consider yourself a spiritual person?
I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Just being honest. I just
No,
don't.
we want you to be honest.
Yeah, no. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I mean, I definitely believe in spirits. And I mean, I don't question them. Like
Yeah.
I know they're there, so
Yeah.
I just don't know enough about it to be able to say that.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense. You haven't explored that yet.
yeah.
And maybe you won't. Who knows? You should, hanging around, me. No. That's funny. So I gave you a reading a while ago, and we don't have to share details, but I just want to know how you felt about that and what you thought of it. Has anything come to fruition? Has anything and be honest. So, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
No, yeah. I mean, from my interpretation, I'm sure I don't know, maybe your viewers know who Rosalind Carter is. I feel like people my age don't. But
yeah, Jimmy Carter's wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jimmy Carter was an ex-president. Anyway, so when you had given me that reading, you had mentioned the number 24 being significant. And I was like, okay. So I just kept looking for that number and whatever. And I got the text that I was being called up to go and perform that service for her on the 24th. So I don't know if that's what the 24 was for, but
that's definitely that was
the main thing that comes to mind. And actually recently my other best friend, Gannon, who also lives in DC, you had mentioned that a girl with blonde hair would come into my life and be a really only strictly friend. But
I did say that. See, I don't remember.
But she would be a really, really good friend to me. And Gannon actually is dating this girl who has blonde hair.
Oh, wow.
And she's my best friend, one of my best friends.
Oh my gosh.
So she's pretty cool. We just kind of vibe really well.
That's so
mesh.
interesting.
It's pretty cool.
I wonder if she's in, your life, there's some purpose for her to be there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how that one plays out, and you'll have to keep me updated.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, see, when I get feedback from people I've done readings for, I get freaked out, honestly. It's okay, yeah, all right, this is the real deal, It still freaks me out. Even as many as validations as I have gotten over the years, it's still, I don't know. It's an incredible thing, honestly. But so how being in the military, do you ever get, I'm going kind of down the energy road. Like,
Okay.
do you ever sense energies around what you do for a living right now? Like, have you ever had any experiences with that?
So, I mean, you know what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pallbearer. So I do a lot of funeral services for fallen heroes.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. So I'm around death a lot.
Yes.
I would say that I'm pretty numb to it. Like,
Okay.
I don't look at it like burying someone's, fallen family member, fallen hero. I just look at it like
Right.
so
A different perspective,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm.
but in regards to the energy,
Mm-hmm.
there are some services that I've done that I do feel, more sentimental towards.
Okay. Like more emotional.
Yeah, just
Uh-huh.
because, we listen to the eulogies and stuff like that, and sometimes the eulogies are heartfelt.
How
and-
does that work? Like
Yeah.
because are you supposed to show emotion?
No. So
Like, are you up there going,
I'm not really even an emotional person, I would say. I
okay,
don't really cry or show
Okay.
sadness often.
uh-huh,
But when I do, I do.
uh-huh.
But
It's more maybe of a feeling.
yeah, it's more so just like I'm like,
Yeah.
like that's deep. But
Yeah.
I can't react the way I'm just there. I'm just
You're just there to
So, but no, there are definitely different vibes. Sometimes the vibe is more like happy and uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
Sad, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, and I mean, in regards to anything else, like I've definitely experienced a lot of different energies from people, more
Okay.
so than like my job.
Uh-huh.
Just because you meet a lot of different people, and
Right.
I do. I've met a ton of people. Yeah, so I'd say I experience more so different energies, people that I meet
Uh-huh.
with my job.
Okay. Not maybe in the moment when you're doing
Yeah.
your job
Yeah.
kind of thing.
hmm
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. So I'm just getting that you're like you're the energy. And that's kind of how I started out. I would feel energies, and I still obviously do today, but you're like this little puppy. Does that make sense?
No, I get it.
Like freshly into spiritual stuff, but not knowing like what you think about it or what to do with it, or maybe you won't do anything with it, but I
Yeah.
do feel like that you're very sensitive to energies, and the spirits know that. That's why they come around and mess with you.
Maybe.
That's funny. Do you have any like spooky Halloween stories or any thinking back?
Like on Halloween.
Yeah, around spooky time, not necessarily on Halloween, but that's when spirits can be more active because we recognize Halloween as spooky season and all that, I'm asking
Yeah.
tough questions.
Yeah, no, like I'm trying to think to like years and years.
Uh-huh.
Not that's like vividly coming to mind.
That you can't recall. Huh.
I'm sure there's
interesting.
been little things.
Yeah.
I try to like push those off.
Not pay attention to
Yeah.
it. Do you ever at night when you're sleeping, do you ever feel like, and this might be way too out there for you, but do you ever get like thoughts in your mind? Like when you're calm and you're getting ready to go to sleep?
Like thoughts, like as in.
Like, does something come to mind and you're thinking, what in the heck? Why am I thinking that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like random though.
Yeah,
Like,
random.
Nothing like that's like, oh, I should probably think about that. No. just,
No,
like,
no, but
random.
you just get random like stuff and maybe wonder where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably spirit talking to you.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. Because that's what happens to me anyway, to a lot of people. You'll get messages in your mind from them. So that's so interesting. So do you have any other stories? Anything else?
Yeah, I have a lot of stories.
Well, let's hear them, keep talking.
So probably, probably the scariest story that I can think of.
You keep saying that,
I
but
know,
then
but
you
then I
come up with
remember
a
more.
scarier
I know,
one.
I just keep remembering more. But like this, I'm pretty sure this is the scariest.
This is the top.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
So this is at Tanner's house.
Uh-huh.
And that night we had watched Donnie Darko.
Okay, what's that? I have no idea.
You know what Donnie Darko is?
No. Uh-oh.
No, it's a movie. It's like an old movie. It's about like this. It's a scary movie.
Okay.
It's about like this. It's about like this guy who like basically like is seeing the future. And like how his family dies or he dies, and like this rabbit guy. It's so complicated.
Okay.
You have to watch it. It's pretty
okay.
good.
I'll have to
But
look it up.
so we watched a scary movie basically, and we had work the next morning, and we were just talking and just watching the movie. We ended up doing the pendulum again.
Yeah.
And this is when I'm like 16. And I forget, we were asking it dumb questions like, will I have 2 kids, 3 kids?
Yeah.
Like, just really dumb questions. And I remember one of the questions we asked, because I was like, dude, it's like 4 a.m. Like, we should probably go to sleep soon. Like, we have work. And I was like, ask if we should go to sleep. And he asked if we should go to sleep, and it said no.
Oh. And
I was like, screw that. I'm going to bed.
See
like,
y'all.
I got to go to sleep. So we had like, we like ended it with however we did. I forgot. But anyways, we go to bed. Like 30 minutes into me trying to sleep, he's out cold. I'm just awake. I can't sleep.
Yeah.
I hear like rustling outside of his bedroom door. He lives in the basement. Like his room's in the basement, and there's like a hallway and a staircase up, and then like living area. And there's like a big tower of like CDs outside of his room. It's just like rustling.
The CDs were.
It sounded like CDs were being like rustled through, like someone's looking for a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? Like, it's not his sister. He would have heard her footsteps come down the stairs.
Right.
And I was like, Tanner, like, dude, someone's outside your door. And as soon as he woke up and like rolled over to like look at me, and I told him that, we heard like a big crash outside of his room. Like,
wow.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh hell no. I said, this is your house.
You go investigate.
Yeah. So he gets up and he like cracks the door. Has like a little flashlight out, and the CDs are like scattered all across the hallway. And I was like, dude.
Oh my gosh.
No. I was like, not tonight.
So again, spooky.
Yeah.
Spooky
so that
stuff.
I would say that was more, this night was definitely negative.
Yeah.
Very, very negative.
Really?
And it's not even done yet, but like you'll see how it gets more negative.
Okay.
So I was like, we're not picking that up. Like, we got to go to bed. So
right.
we went back into his room, laid down. I was like, that didn't happen. I'm going to bed. So
now you're probably all wound up.
Yeah. So it's probably like 5 a.m, still dark outside. Sun's probably like starting to come up a little bit. And I start hearing like tapping on the door. I'm still awake. He's asleep again.
Like a finger tapping?
Like almost, I can't even, but
like,
yeah.
Boop, boop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he starts tapping on his door. Like, what the hell? Dude, like, go away. And so I'm just sitting there listening to this tapping. It's like a rhythm. It was like like a metronome. And I was like, I'm gonna try to sleep to the metronome. So
see if it'll
and then
put you to
all
sleep.
of a sudden it just like came to a complete stop. And then it turned into like 10 seconds goes by maybe, and then it starts turning into like a scratch like that.
Oh, the dog scratching on the door.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It started turning into like along like the top of the door,
all
the way to the bottom. It sounded, because I was the one. If something broke into this room, I was the first one going.
Okay.
I was on the outside of the bed.
Yeah.
And so I could like visualize where this so-called hand was like scratching.
Oh. And
I could like basically imagine like, okay, it's in the middle of the door. Now it's about to be at the bottom. And once I like visualized it at the bottom, that's when it stopped.
Oh wow.
And then I was like, okay, maybe it's done.
Yeah.
No.
Oh wait, there's more.
So then I started hearing footsteps coming down the stairs. And I was like, well, it's like kind of like, it's like almost 5 a.m. Like maybe someone's awake.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but maybe. So, but it was like very light footsteps. It was like boom, boom, boom. So I thought maybe it was his. And I like called out. I was like, Racy, like, is that you? No response. I was like, no. So then I was like, all right. I just kept sitting there, like, looking around his room. It's like pitch black in his room.
Right.
Dude, I'm freaked out.
Right.
I'm like sitting up in his bed, and he's out cold. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm sitting here, and I still hear the footsteps. But the footsteps, I realized, like, I like know that he only has like a certain amount of stairs, but the footsteps are still going.
Oh.
So I was like,
interesting.
What is going on?
Yeah.
And I start like really like listening. And it like the footsteps like stopped like over my head, like up, like right above me.
Oh my gosh.
And then it almost sounded like, you know, like if like you heard like a dog like walk on like the floor like with four legs.
Yeah.
It sounded like something had dropped to four legs, and it was like clup 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 clup, like
I'm just getting the chills again.
Like circles like on the ceiling. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
Dude, I like grabbed the blanket and I just like covered my head, and I was like, I'm going to sleep, like going to bed. So
yeah. Did you get any sleep that night?
I ended up falling asleep. We had work at like 11:30. So I fell asleep at like 6 probably.
Oh gosh.
So I got like 5.
So and in the meantime, your friend, he's just sleeping through all of it.
Yeah, he was asleep. I told him what happened the next day. He's like, "No, you're tripping." I was like, "All right." I was like, "I wouldn't wish it on you, but it happened."
Right. Yeah, wow, that's creepy, because that makes me feel like something like transformed into something. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just very.
That's a little creepy for sure.
Talking about that one. That one. And we've like. Because I like grew up in the Scouts and stuff, like with him and his dad, and like his dad knows about like stuff in their house, and like we would go camping and they'd tell us like stories at the campfire and stuff.
Yes.
And I remember one time we were with our friend Sage, who's Native American, and he started telling us, he was like, "Do you guys know what skinwalkers are?"
Oh yeah.
And I hadn't known at the time. I know now.
Yes.
And I was like, "No, like tell me all about it." And I was like. Now looking back, I'm like, I was dumb.
Yeah.
So he starts telling us all about it.
Yeah.
And we have to go to sleep in the woods. And I was like,
there's no way.
Yeah, I was like, uh-oh. Like looking back, like that was very dangerous. But, yeah, nothing super crazy happened that night though.
That's good.
We had went to sleep and we had heard stuff outside the tent, but like it was probably just animals. But what's weird is that, no, I guess it is a little creepy. We woke up the next morning and we go to our tent and we're like trying to open it and we can't open it. Like something's stopping it from opening, like 6 a.m.
Wow.
And we call like Tanner's dad and he comes over there and he was like, someone like tied your guys' like tent shut, but it's with like twine, like rope.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, what? At the time, I was like
the
dumb.
zipper part? They like
you know how like if you could like zip tie, like
yes,
it's like that. He said it was just tied off, like so you couldn't move the zipper.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, well, no one else is out here.
That's creepy, because I don't think an animal has the right appendages to be able to do that.
It was him playing a prank or what?
Maybe, but
I hope that's what it was.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter Star, she don't even say that word.
You know, I don't say it either, but I had to for the sake of the pod.
Right.
Gotta make sacrifices.
Right.
Yeah.
So wow, that's creepy for sure. Yes. What else? Tell us more. Do you have any other ones?
I don't know. You know what Ted Bundy's cellar is? How it's out here?
I've heard of it. Yes, I have not been there.
Okay, so I went there my junior year of high school. With my friends. Tanner, of course, was there.
Yeah.
And we went there like randomly, spur of the moment. Our other friend was like, "Hey, we should go to Ted Bundy's cellar." I was like, "Okay, cool." I had no idea who Ted Bundy was.
Right.
So I was like, "This sounds like just a cellar." Let's go. So we go and we get there. It's like pitch black up in the canyon. Like,
right.
No lights.
Yep.
And we get there. We park our car like on the highway or the canyon road. There's no lights. Pitch black. So we all get our phone flashlights out. My one friend has like a backpack with him. Like. Know what you got in there, but So we start walking. We have to like go off road to get to this cellar.
Uh-huh.
And we're hearing noises the whole
So
time.
when you say cellar, what is it? Is it like a little shack?
It's like in the ground.
Oh, it's
So-
like a cellar.
Mm-hmm. It's like two little doors.
Oh
It's
my
like two
gosh.
little flap doors that open up, and then there's like steps. And then it's
Oh.
like this like tiny room, like maybe like half of this.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess he would like take his victims there, and do
Right.
whatever, but so we find it after we had to like climb up like rocks and stuff and go through.
Uh-huh.
We find it, and we get in there, and already I kind of get like this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, that's where the creepy
Yeah.
negative. Yeah.
like this is a very weird vibe.
Uh-huh.
And my one friend Sage was there, who like is super into like Native American spirit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why is he here? Because like he's probably gonna attract stuff. So we go in there, and my one friend sets his backpack down, and I'm the last one to walk in.
Uh-huh.
And I look around with my flashlight, and there's like writing on the walls, like there's a pentagram in the bottom like of the floor.
So you went down in there?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Well, I'm not gonna sit outside with all the noises and the pitch black. I'd rather,
So I'll just go down in the cellar.
Yeah. So we get down there, and I look at all this stuff everywhere, and I'm like, I was like, we got to get out.
Yeah.
And Tanner was with me. He was like, yeah, we gotta go. And our other friends, we had like 3 other people with us, and let's just stay like for a little bit. All right.
So you did.
So we stayed, but
Uh-huh.
the reason my friend had the backpack, he pulled out a Ouija board.
Oh.
He didn't tell us he brought a Ouija board. He just
Oh,
had
gosh.
a backpack.
Uh-huh.
He pulls out this Ouija board and sets it in the middle of the pentagram. I was like, are you dumb? Like,
Right.
What are you thinking, dude?
No way.
Sets it in the middle of the pentagram and pulls out candles. There's 3 different candles and like puts
Like
it on.
he's wanting to do some seance
Yeah,
shit
I
or
was like-
something.
I was like, dude, like I know you're not into that. Like, why do you have that?
Right.
And he started lighting the candles, and he's like, all right, come on, everyone play. I was like, I'm not playing.
Right.
Tanner's not playing.
Yeah.
We'll watch y'all.
Yeah.
So
yep.
me and Tanner sat off to the side, and we watched them play.
Uh-huh.
And they started like, hello, is anyone there? Nothing. Nothing's happening.
Uh-huh.
Like I figured, I was like, and I hope it doesn't.
Right.
Well, after they said hello like for the 30th time,
Uh-huh.
I guess I don't know if they moved it or what, but something answered, and
Uh-huh.
it was like hello, and then they started asking it questions, doing all that. Meantime,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like listening, just because I'm like freaked out. I don't even want to be there.
Right.
I'm like listening outside, and I hear it almost sounds like something's like circling like the cellar. It sounds just like I can hear like leaves like crunching. and,
Yeah.
like, sticks like.
Yeah.
I like told Tanner, I was like, "Do you hear that?" Tripping. And
Yeah.
He was like, "No, something too." I was like, "Oh my god." So they start asking it questions, and they're still asking it, and me and Tanner are just hanging out. And then they're like done asking questions finally.
Uh-huh.
And this whole time, we're still hearing the same circling.
Right.
And as soon as they say goodbye,
Uh-huh.
like it lets them say goodbye. It
Uh-huh.
says goodbye. We stopped hearing footsteps like that second. As soon as we saw their
Really?
hands leave the board, like the noises stopped. And I just got chills talking about
I did too.
And, the noises stopped, and we all like make eye contact.
Uh-huh.
And at the like right when we like made eye contact with everybody, and we like look around, I don't know if a breeze came in or what, but
Mhm.
all the candles went out at the same time too. And I was like, dude, no way.
Oh
I was like, this
my
is like horror
gosh.
movie stuff.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, time to go.
Right.
So I look at Tanner, I was like we got to get out of here.
Yeah, that's
And so we start like nearing the exit, like we're like walking up the steps.
uh-huh.
And as we get to like the top step, I like peek my head out, and I'm like looking out because I was like, there was something out here. Like, I'm not just gonna get out
Right.
here. So I'm looking around, and I see like the sticks that I had heard, and they
Uh-huh.
are like stepped in half, or there's like
They're
like,
broken
yes,
for reals?
Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I'm like, no way. I said no way. And Tanner's like, what do you see? And I was like, you don't want to know.
No. Let's just get the hell out of here.
I was like, okay. So I was like, I honestly am getting a really bad vibe, Tanner. Like, I
Uh-huh.
think I'm just going to run to the car. He was like, okay, I'm going to go with you. I
Yeah.
was like, all right. I said, tell them what we're doing. And so he told them, like, okay, we'll meet y'all there. I was
Mhm.
like, all right, Tanner, you ready?
And you
like,
bolted.
I told him, I was like, 3, 2, 1.
Run!
I just like took off. I didn't look back. I was like, I hope Tanner's there. I just kept looking. I just kept running. And I was like, it's the same feeling that you get when you're running up the stairs.
Right, from the basement? Yeah.
There was a weird feeling like something was following me, like trying to get me. And I was like, no, I'm not risking that.
Yeah.
And I like get to like the rocks that we climbed up. And I was like, I see it. And I'm like, I'm just going to jump it. I'm just going to jump it. And it wasn't super high up. It was maybe like 8 feet. So it wasn't crazy.
Well, that's high though.
I mean, it's
jumping
high,
off.
like, I was a young buck. My knees were good then.
You're so old now, right?
Yeah. So I was like, I'm just gonna send it. So I jumped it, and I was fine. Thank God. And Tanner jumped it too, but Tanner rolled his ankle.
Oh, jeez.
Tanner rolled his ankle, and I heard him. He was like, ah.
Yeah.
And I look back, and I look up and make sure there's no monster chasing him. And I hurry and grab him. I'm like, come on. We get to the car, and we like get in the car, and I'm sitting in the car, and I was like, well, I was sitting in the car, and I realized that we didn't have the car keys.
So you can't get away anyway.
It's like pitch black.
Yeah.
We're sitting in the car with it's just black, and we're just sitting there waiting for our friends.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, what if they don't come? I was like,
then you're screwed.
Yeah. And so I was like looking up at the mountain that we had just came down, and I see like their lights like flashing in the trees, and I was like, all right, they're good.
You're like,
well, they get down to the car, and my one friend whose car it was, everyone gets in the car. He goes to his driver door, and he's standing outside of his door, like looking down. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, get in the car. Like, let's leave. And he was like, dude, there's like something like on the car. And I was like, what? And so we all get out, which is dumb. We all get out and go.
It's horror movie stuff.
No, we all get out and we go look at his driver's side door. And there's like liquid, like all over his door. And it like a stream, like going down like the road, like into the gutter.
Oh my gosh!
And it was like bubbling. I'm pretty sure it was pee, but something or someone was up there and it was messing with us, and I guess they peed on his car. I don't know if it was a spirit or what, but
something.
I don't know, because like I didn't get like person vibes about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a Native American fella.
Yeah.
Right. It was something. It was something for sure. But I don't know exactly.
That's funny, but that's like super scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do that kind of stuff, like go into those creepy places. No thanks.
Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't know anything about it. I'm never doing it again.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. The dumb things we do when we're kids, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're still a kid, but anyway, yeah. Oh my heck. So we probably have time for one more or something. Do you have another one for us? I'm just like picking it out of him.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think. That I can really think of.
No.
I mean, there's like, I've never like confirmed any of what had happened, but at like basic training.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, that's an old, lots of history there.
Yes.
Basic training. Like in our like barracks and all that.
Right.
Everyone, like, there's all these like stories about like the barracks, stuff like that. Like ghost stories and stuff. And
yeah.
I guess someone had told this story. I forget exactly what happened, but it basically said that someone had killed themselves in like the showers like, of our barracks.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Why would you tell us that? And so I went through training like nothing. I hadn't experienced anything, not even like getting a vibe or anything. And it was like one of the last couple days, and I was doing what's called EC shift, which is like security detail, like you're just watching barracks, I guess. And you have to do like checks, like you have to like walk through where everyone's sleeping and make sure that everyone's okay. And you have to like check like all the different rooms, and like the rooms have like motion censored lights, so like if no one's in there, they'll go black.
Right.
So I was used to the lights always being black, and so I checked before everyone was sleeping. I checked like the meeting room. It was black. Nothing was in there. And then I go to the laundry room, and nothing was in there. And then I go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I turned, because there's two sides. There's like the shower side and the bathroom, like the toilet side. I walked in. Usually when you walk in, they both light up.
Mm-hmm.
I walk in, and the shower side stayed black.
Oh.
And I turned right, and I was like, okay, whatever. I checked the stalls and everything and made sure no one was in there doing crazy stuff.
Right.
And that was all good. I walked into the shower side, and I'm like, hello? Like,
the light wouldn't turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never turned on. And it was pitch black in there and scary. Like, it's the dorm, like the barracks, like, it's creepy looking.
Right.
So I was like, okay, now I'm getting the bad vibe. And so I like look around the corner, and it's like big open showers too. Like there's no like privacy.
Right.
So I like turn the corner and like look around the corner to see all like the walls of showers.
Mm-hmm.
And like nothing's in there. But I just got like this really, really weird vibe as soon as I looked into the shower.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was just coincidental or if it was because of that story, but
yeah,
it was a little freaky. But
So how long did that happen after you heard the story?
he told me heard the story like at the beginning of training.
Oh, so early on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it happened like towards the end.
Okay. Had you ever done the rounds before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But keep in mind, like I guess I didn't specify, but it's like late at night that we're doing these checks.
Right.
So it's like 2 a.m. We're up doing these.
Yeah. And the light worked the next day, I guess.
Yeah, it was fine.
Because I thought maybe the light bulb, maybe something was malfunctioning, but yeah.
I guess it was just for me because my friend checked it like 2 hours later and was like, yeah.
It was fine and the light worked?
I was like, dude, what? they just hate me, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's because they know you acknowledge or not that you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can always sense when we feel or know that they're there. And so, so they come for us. Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes, right? That can be good and bad, a blessing and a curse, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for taking time to sit here with me and tell us some of your crazy spirit stories. I love hearing stories like that. They're always fun. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you all soon. Can you stop that?